It's people like Thaddeus and Rebekah in Simon's mind. That's the reason Israel was facing all the difficulty they had, because people like that just weren't righteous enough. Simon, of course, he had all the answers, and he's hearing these words of Jesus, and he's scratching his head going, Jesus, I don't think you know what you're talking about. And Thaddeus and Rebekah are hearing these words, and they're going, please, we want to hear more. This morning we come to the Beatitude, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. The story of the hungry caterpillar and how he turned into all the different colors of what he'd been eating. We have this saying, you are what you eat. We call him the Cookie Monster for a reason. We are what we eat. We eat healthy, we come out a little healthier. We eat not so healthy. There was this phrase that we used when computers were starting to just get popular, and we'd say, garbage in, garbage out. So what you put into it was kind of what you'd get out of it. We are on some levels products of what we take in. And Jesus is saying here, you are in a way, you become what you're hungry for. And so in a sense, what he's saying here is almost this truism that you could remove the righteousness out of there, and you could put something else in its place, and the statement might be just to achieve that recognition and that acceptance. Those that are hungry for not missing out will fill themselves with things to ensure that doesn't happen. Oh, experience, wealth. Again, my experience has been that they ultimately never do satisfy. They never fill us. If you're hungry for success and recognition and acceptance and the emotional kick that you get from what you're hungry for, there's always the need for another and another. And it's never quite enough. C.S. Lewis put it this way, I find in myself a desire which no experience in this world can satisfy. The most probable explanation is that I was made for another world. And there's an entire book of the Bible dedicated to someone who tried absolutely everything and tried to find meaning in absolutely everything and tried to find purpose. And his appetite, he filled with everything. And he built statues and he built buildings, and people all over the world knew his name. And he was married a bunch of times, and he experienced sex and relationships to the degree that he got what he was hungry for and was filled with that, and he tried this and he tried that, and at the end of it he just kind of went, but it didn't matter. It's just like breath, meaningless. So what are you hungry for? What are you really hungry for? And you may say, I guess I've never really experienced real hunger. Okay, maybe not. But I can make some of you experience real hunger. Before you leave church this morning, I want you to bring me your cell phone and come back to church tomorrow morning to pick it up. How are you going to feel around 2 o'clock this afternoon? We are fed by the feed on our phones. We don't even realize how hungry we've become for it. So what are you hungry for? Jesus says, "Blessed are those who are hungry and thirsty for righteousness." Simon wasn't hungry anymore. Simon had arrived. Simon was righteous. Simon was in his own mind perfect.